All right. All right, how's this? Is this working better? Do we have a consistent and reliable connection now? Are we good? If someone can let me know, that would be great. I hope there's someone still here. Dylan, are you around? Hello? Is anyone there? All good now? All good now. Awesome. Thank you. That is really great to hear. All right. Well, then let's get into cooking then. So we are going to be cooking a lovely curry. And so we're going to start with some cooking, obviously. So we're going to start with some... oh, right. I just realized that the camera is no longer pointing at the right place. Which camera am I on? Am I on... I'm not on that camera. Okay. You can't actually see what I'm doing. So, all right, how am I going to do this? Oh, is that because, hang on, let me have a look and see what the aspect ratio is of. Oh, right. Give me a second. All right, hang on. There we go. Let me put this camera back up a bit. Oh, now you can't see the board again. There we go. All right. Oh, now you can't see my face. All right, we've not quite got this right yet. I think I'm going to actually put this back up here where it was, because I think that should not be a problem. And we'll put the camera back on top of it because that's where we had the best view before. So give me a second. While we get this all sorted out. This was the best view because then you could see both the camera and myself. You could also see the hot plate if I turn this slightly this way, where we're going to be cooking. And that way, can you move the camera back? Yes, it works. It works. Excellent. Let's get to it. All right, so we're going to start the cooking by preparing some garlic and onion. And we've got the stove over here, lovely little pan, and we've got my oils back here, all my supplies that I normally use up here, but we've already prepared down here with all the ingredients we need. So curry powder, turmeric, some cumin, ground cumin, and some cayenne pepper. We also have for Americans, bell pepper. We call it capsicum in Australia. It's red one. Got some sweet potato, got some beans, we got some rice, which I'll chuck in the rice cooker, which I've prepared back here already. And we have some chicken thighs. So we're going to be making a lovely chicken and sweet potato curry. And it's going to go with rice. So we're going to start obviously with the base ingredients. So onions, and I actually feel like this knife is a little bit blunt. So we're going to sharpen the knife. Always use sharp implements. So it's always a good idea to have sharp implements, and with it being a little bit blunt, I think we'll sharpen the knife first, so that we're not cutting with any blunt implements. So, and that should do it. We should have a nice sharp knife. We'll give it a quick dry off because we don't want anything that was in there on the knife. And we'll get back into some cutting. All right, so as I said, we're preparing the onion and garlic at the moment. So I've just got 2 onions and like 4 cloves of garlic. Good base for a curry. Oh yeah, there is actually some other ingredients I haven't got yet. Let me grab that. So we're just going to have some coconut milk as well for the curry. Some chicken stock, and we'll boil up some water at some stage for it as well. which we'll put in here. So yeah, all right, let's keep working on this. So just bear with me. Grab myself a bowl for all this. Setting up for this has meant that I wasn't quite as prepared as I would have liked to have been. So we're just going to chuck the scraps in that bowl because one of the things you don't want to do when you're gardening, which is something which I do, and I have a compost heap out in the garden, is mix your scraps from things like onions and garlic with the rest of your vegetable scraps. They're no good in a compost. They are far too acidic and will impede the growth of some of your vegetables. So it's better not to mix them in with your with the rest of your scraps. So I tend to just throw them. So I'm separating all those scraps now. Other scraps which I will have later on, I will put in my compost bin which I have back here, which will be ready when it's full to go outside. But for now we'll just keep that separate. So anyway, we're going to keep on finely cutting these onions. All right, a little bit of skin still on there, get rid of that. And we'll just keep finely cutting these. Keep it off to the side. How is everyone doing? Bit of a false start to the stream, unfortunately, so it looks like we've lost a few people who were watching before, but that's okay. You can't... lovely little teething problems, you know. First time we're trying a cooking stream, there's always bound to be problems. So next time we'll be ready for it. And I realise that we can't do full 1080p in here at the moment. I'll need to work on improving the network in this room to be able to do full 1080p. So we're going to do 720p in here from now on, and we'll also obviously also have to we'll have to stream it directly from OBS rather than going to the computer first. So yeah, I'll work on sorting that. I'll try and get a better Wi-Fi connection in here. I thought I had sorted it. I do have a Wi-Fi router which is much closer to the one that the computer is actually connecting to, but apparently there must be some more interference between it and here than the one which is many rooms away. Yes, the Lions did win, so that's a good thing for now, actually. Which reminds me, just bear with me a sec. I'm going to, because I'm not going to be able to transfer between multiple rooms now, I'm going to have to be very careful about how I do things. So just bear with me a sec. I actually want to put my hair up as well because it's getting in my way. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I'm going to have a drink as well. Lions won, so good work, Lions. You know, good old Brisbane Lions. Let's have a nice drink for that, and let's continue preparing all the food. So, as I said, I got 4 garlic cloves, and we will throw the scraps of the garlic in with the onion because I don't want to, as I said before, I don't want to mix that with any other compost that we might have. So we'll give a little bit of crush to the garlic, helps with releasing the flavours as well as making it a little bit easier to get the the skin off. So just peel all the skin off, and after that we'll dice all of these up. So we have some nice onion over here, and we'll have some nice diced up garlic as well. So yeah, should be pretty nice. Apparently crushing this one didn't make it as easy as I thought, but you know, always the odd one. So let's get the garlic out of this. All right, so, and we'll get rid of all these scrap bits of garlic, and then I've got some stuck to my hand, and we'll quickly dice it all up. Get it nice and fine, so it can be used mostly as flavour. All right, so let's get those last little bits that were already that were stuck on the knife. There we go. Nice amount of garlic, nice amount of onion. All right, let's go on to the next step. We're going to heat up the stove. So we'll just do that. I'm going to chuck some olive oil in to the pan. Just a splash of olive oil. And once that's good and going, we'll get the onion and garlic in there. In the meantime, we're just going to clean off the knife quickly, and we're going to move on to preparing the sweet potato. Now, as I said, I don't want to mix my scraps, so I've got this lovely little compost bin here, which actually I cleaned today, so it still had a little bit of liquid in it, so we're just going to chuck a little bit of paper towel down the bottom to soak that up. Paper towel is fine in the garden, and we're just going to start trimming this off. Now, I'm not going to take the skin off this. Hey Cracked Renegade, how you doing? I'm not going to take the skin off this because both with potatoes and sweet potatoes, the skin is a great source of nutrients. I know a lot of people would prefer it without the skin, but yeah, I prefer to keep the skin on my things. Same with pumpkins, same with most things that you cook. I mean, obviously there's certain things which you will take the skin off, but with sweet potatoes I won't do it. So anyway, we're gonna cut this bad boy up. Some decent size, hang on, let me move this out of the way so you can actually see. Some decent size sweet potato, and we're just gonna, oh, we've got too many things close together at the moment. So it's the problem when you're trying to stream and you've got a little tablet over here and you've got other things elsewhere, trying to keep some space so that you can see things. Anyway, so what I might do is I might move the rice over here, and I'll move this over here as well as the chicken over behind me, which gives me a little bit more space. All right, so lovely sweet potato. We're just going to cut it into some decent size cubes. So we'll put some slices this way. Now this is nice and hard at the moment, but that'll soon be sorted. I want to keep some separation from the onion and garlic, which is going to go into the pan very soon. Let's just check I've got some decent heat going on there, so once I've done the sweet potato, we'll get the onion and garlic in the pan. All right. Let's just cut them up so that they're not too big, because the bigger they are, the longer it'll take for them to cook. Also, it's just nicer to have them nice cubes. So it sounds like our pan is getting there, is ready. I'm going to take these out because I'm not actually listening to any sounds at the moment. Thank you. Yes, I like a well-organized kitchen, so it definitely helps with your preparation and cooking. But my only problem with my kitchen is the location in the house. So I'm at the other end of the house from all of the like living room, dining room, all that sort of stuff. So to take things from here to the kitchen to go and eat, you pretty much have to walk through the entire house. I'm making was it chicken and sweet potato curry. All right, we're going to put this in the pan, and you might start here. I don't know if you can hear the sizzle, but we have a lovely sizzle going. So we're going to chuck this all in there. Get the last of it. Missed a few. All right. Let's get that in there. All right, now let's get a wooden spoon. We can just mix it up. We're going to turn the temperature down a bit so that it doesn't burn. We had it on a high heat to get it all heated up, and now we'll just run it on a medium heat just to cook some flavors. We'll get the fan on low. Hopefully that's not too loud. My kitchen's actually quite large, but I want a bigger one. I want a better one. So I'm working on plans at the moment to expand the house, and this will actually become the living room where I am right now. From the bench that way will become, there'll be a toilet there which will have a door facing that way, and that'll become a shower onto the bathroom, which is actually my ensuite is behind that wall at the moment. But that'll become the main bathroom downstairs once it's expanded slightly. And my master bedroom will actually be upstairs from here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that actually happening, because that means that I will have a nice setup in the place, and I'm also going to fully wire the house so that I have internet everywhere that I wanted in the house. All right, so we have the onion and garlic cooking away nicely. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit more. Just keep an eye on it. We're going to have to deal with... All right. Let me just get another container, another thing. We're going to chuck all the sweet potato in here so that I can have the chopping board free for the chicken, which I'm going to have to clean the chopping board afterwards. Okay, enjoy your dinner. All right. All right, the other thing I need to do as part of all this is probably put the kettle on. So for those of you in the United States, a kettle is a device we use to heat up water. People in the UK use it as well. Basically, if I grab it, in fact, what I'll do is I'll move it, because it's not even plugged in at the moment. I'm going to move it over here. This is a kettle. Take the lid off. I'll go over to my sink. And I'm putting water in my kettle. Now, water's in the kettle. It goes on its station. And I flick the switch back here. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a little orange light here, which tells me that this thing is on. Now this is going to boil my water for me. And once I've boiled my water, then will have nice and hot water. Now I know I could do it on the stove, but just wait and see. This will be nice and quick. All right. So, we're going to prepare the chicken. So we've got chicken thigh, and we want to cut it into quite manageable chunks. So I'm going to chuck it on the board. I'm going to chuck this over here, give it a bit of chuck some water in it, and we're just going to cut this chicken up. Because the chicken is the next thing that's going to go in the pan. I I just thought I'd do this potato before I did the chicken, but considering what's happening at the pan at the moment, I probably need to get the chicken done reasonably quickly and into the pan. Once we get the chicken in the pan, we'll deal with the rice and get the rice on. The rice is going to take a while to cook, but so is the rest of this food as well. So we're probably going to end up just chatting for a bit. So I hope that people are looking forward to some just chatting after this while we wait for the food to cook before I'll be able to show you the meal. Because it'll probably take about, from the time that we get everything in to the time that it's ready, it'll be about half an hour, I reckon, 20 minutes to 30 minutes approximately. It'll really be about when the sweet potato is cooked, because when the sweet potato is cooked, the chicken should be well and truly cooked. It'll still be juicy because obviously it'll be in a liquid, but the sweet potato is the important thing because you don't want crunchy sweet potato. So anyway, we're gonna keep doing this, preparing this all up, and after this cooking stream, I will be doing, for those who are used to me doing World of Warships, I will be doing a World of Warships stream, but we will have to shut down the stream and start up again, unfortunately, by the looks, because I've had to stream from a different device. Not the way that I wanted to stream, which would have allowed me to just switch to my other computer. But as I said, we will sort that out. I'll work on improving my internet into this room. This is the first time that I've tried streaming in here, so yeah. Teething problems mean that we're actually, well, what time is it now? 7:30. Okay, we're about, well, I was going to start the stream originally at 6, but I was running a bit late starting that. We tried to start at 6:30. It's now 7:30, so we're about 45 minutes behind where we wanted to be with this cooking stream. All right. So we're just going to keep cutting up this chicken. We're getting very close to being done cooking it up. After we've cut it all up, as I said, we'll wash our hands because obviously we've been playing with chicken, and then we'll get the rice going, and I'll show you, and then we'll deal with the capsicum, red pepper, bell pepper for those of you who are in the States, and I think even the UK calls it bell pepper. I think we might be the only country that calls it capsicum, which technically is the family name of the whole area, like including all the chilies and all those sorts of things. But we do call it capsicum. And so, yeah. So my red bell pepper's right there. So anyone who's trying to work out what I'm talking about, it's right there. I'll deal with that later. Don't want to get chicken on it. Don't want to cross-contaminate things. All right, so that's all our chicken cut up. And I think our pan is ready for the chicken. So we are going to pick up this chopping board and we're going to dump the chicken in there. All right, now, just going to quickly mix that around a bit in amongst the onion and garlic. We're probably going to turn the temperature up slightly because we want the chicken to brown a bit before we go any further with anything else. So, chicken's now in the pan. We're going to quickly, and I'm sorry you can't see me over at the sink, it just doesn't quite give enough. Maybe if I push this back a little bit further. Doesn't quite give enough aspect to give the whole kitchen. That is something else which I'll work on, is having hopefully some multiple angles so you can see some more of the kitchen. Because then you'll be able to see things like my dishwasher, my, what's it called? Dryer, dehydrator, sorry. And I've got a couple of air fryers as well as bread makers in the kitchen as well. Which if we ever do cooking with any of those things means you'll be able to see them as well. Also, my oven is over there, which you can't see at the moment either. So aspect is hard to deal with. Anyway, I'm going to quickly clean this board because we need to keep using this chopping board, and I'm also going to clean the knife and my hands. All right, one clean knife. One clean chopping board. And we'll just use some paper towel just to clean it, dry it up, make sure that we get everything off it, and we'll do the same thing with the knife. All right, we'll chuck them in there. We'll place some more paper towel down there just to make sure that the chopping board can't slip. We'll come back over here. This is our red bell pepper. Now I'm just going to quickly check the chicken. Stir it around. Make sure it's not burning anywhere, but browning up nicely on all sides. And let's prepare the bell pepper, or capsicum as we call it here. So, all right, we'll just get rid of all the seeds. And we'll just clean that up. And we'll just slice it, we'll just cut this up. Okay, we've got some seeds on the knife, we'll get rid of them. All right, next one. I have a maths problem for you, Ozzo. What we cooking, my man? We're cooking it's a chicken and sweet potato curry. What's the maths question, MLP the Chad? All right, so we're getting this capsicum or red pepper, whatever you prefer to call it, cut up. Take out that bit. So we've got that all nicely cut up and ready. And now the only other thing we still haven't cut up are our beans. So let's prepare the beans. You have 32 puppies and 3 kennels, and you need to put an odd number of each. Hang on, an odd number in each of the 3 kennels. All puppies must be in a kennel, and no puppies can be harmed. How do you do it? 32. Odd number in each. In 3 kennels. An odd number in 5:30 a.m. right now. Nice. Have you been to sleep? 5. A maths question for me. Well, can I ask one question for that? Can I ask one question for that? You need to put an odd number in each. So does that mean I have to put at least one in each? Same, it's almost bedtime, but now I'm tempted to cook something. That's funny, Austin. 0 is not an odd number, okay. 32, odd number. How do you do an odd number from an even number with 3? I mean, I could make it happen if I got a flat earther to do the maths. Otherwise, I don't know how you would do it. because no matter what I do, you put 1 in each of the first 2 kennels and 30 in the last one, because 30 isn't a bloody odd number of puppies to have in one kennel. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, okay. Or as I said, you get a flat earther to do it. Anyone who's been on Lydia's stream will understand that that comment. But if you haven't been on Lydia's stream, you may not get the comment. But we had a flat earther on Lydia's stream recently. No, I guess I probably shouldn't have expected anything else. I still think my answer was good about the flat earther. Oh well. All right, let's get these beans prepped. I want to get the capsicums moved a bit further out of the way so I can put the beans a bit further over, so I've got a bit more space. All right. Oh dear. Running very late for my dinner tonight due to all these technical issues we had earlier on, but that's okay. We'll survive. All right. Let me go and stir the chicken again. All right, yes, the kettle boiled actually a while ago. I was talking about that. Pay attention to it. And I wasn't paying attention. So the kettle has been boiled for quite a while. What we're going to do is just quickly make some chicken broth. So I've got some chicken stock. I'm just going to make some broth with the chicken stock. That should be enough. Just some chicken stock there. All right. So I think for those who are only been in here recently, I have got 2 separate piles of scraps. I've got this scraps here, which is my onions and garlic, and this is all the other vegetable scraps. I don't mix those scraps. I don't put the onion and garlic in my compost bin or in my compost heap, because onion and garlic scraps can be detrimental to the growing of certain vegetables, whereas other vegetables are not detrimental to the growing of other vegetables, so you can use them all as a compost. Anyway, we're completely cut up the beans, capsicum, all this stuff. We've got our coconut milk ready. We've got all these things ready. Our chicken's looking pretty good, browned and nice. Over here. Oh, you can't see me if I stand over there. Maybe I should put it on this one. Hang on. Where'd that come from? There. Okay, that's broken. Okay. All right. All right. So with the kettle boiled, I'm just going to. I'll bring it over here. We're just going to chuck some water in with our chicken stock. I think about 1 litre should do. There we go. And the thing which we haven't done yet is start to cook our rice, which I probably should have started a little while ago. Now, what we're going to do, that one's a bit wet. We're going to grab a measurer, and we're just going to pour some rice in the measurer. Whatever we measure in this measurer, we'll do double the amount of water. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do 4 of these. There we go. All right. So we'll put the rice away. And as somebody pointed out, I have a well-organized kitchen. So my rice just lives up here. Now, I have some water in here already, so I'll just use that to begin with. I know it's already boiling, but that's fine. So we'll do, I did 4 of these, so I've got to do 8 water, which there isn't going to be enough. Did I not turn that off? Hang on. I think I've done 3. I just need to turn that off so it doesn't go off again on another day. I set that alarm yesterday because I had to do some stuff for work at 8 o'clock, so I set the alarm for 7:45 so that I would be ready at 8. Anyway, just going to grab some more water. All right, so we've got 4 in there now. 5, 6, 7, 8. So 4 scoops of rice, we put in 8 scoops of water. We'll just turn this on, we'll set it on cook, and we'll leave that be. So that will be ready when it's ready, probably about 30 minutes. In the meantime, we have this lovely chicken broth, which is looking really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the capsicum, red bell pepper to the for this. By the way, so those who you can't actually see, but my stove is actually a 90 centimeter, almost a meter. I mean, I don't know what that is in Americans, in your measurements, but yeah, it's quite a nice size. I could have 6 small pots on it if I wanted to. I've just got the really big one, so it has this massive space to fit things in, and 3 spaces is what I normally need, so it works really well. Anyway, we've got that working. So now we're going to add some spices. We've got curry powder, ground cumin, turmeric, and cayenne pepper. So we're just going to chuck some small amounts of that in. Turmeric's really nice, so just a dash of turmeric, dash of cumin, some cayenne pepper. Oh, that was the curry powder that I put in first, not the turmeric. I want to probably put a bit more of that in actually, to give it a bit more oomph. Just some dry spices, and we might put a little bit more cayenne pepper, add a little bit more heat as well. So that's those items dealt with. We'll mix that around a little bit. Hi, Cracked Renegade. Yeah, absolutely. Where's Gigadatum? Where is he? You should be learning how to cook like a man. All right, so we've got that going nicely. I'm just going to raise the temperature slightly because we're now going to add the potato and the stock. And I'm hoping that I've got enough stock, but the thing about this as well is we've also got coconut milk to go in. So let's just add just pull the stock in. Perfect. And then we'll grab some coconut milk. All right, it doesn't come out very well, so I'm just going to chuck a bit of water in it. We'll just, there we go. Get that all in. Make sure we got it all out. Perfect. Now we just need to mix it up, and I think I've underestimated the size of this, unfortunately, so it's right on the top of the pan, but I think that'll be fine. It'll mix up, it'll cook. It's just making a little bit of a mess. It does fit, and we just have to wait for that to really cook now. And at the very end, I just don't need that one because it's got enough in it. At the very end, we will add the beans to it. So let me just quickly do some cleaning up. We'll rinse out the tin so that it can go in the recycling. We'll clean this pan that had the chicken in it before, and just put it over here to dry up. What else have we got? We've got to clean this up. We'll keep using this over here, so we won't clean that yet, but we can clean this spoon as well. Well, then we'll probably start looking at putting away all the ingredients we don't need anymore. All right. There we go. All right, so this is trash, so I'm just going to go chuck this in the trash. And then we'll chuck that over there to be cleaned. And this is good to go back where it belongs. We'll chuck this all in the bin. And we'll put these things away. Now I can put one of them up here in my spice rack, and the other ones will go in my pantry. So maybe after this I'll give you a quick tour of my kitchen. So just bear with me. Oops, daisy. And this goes back in the pantry as well. All right. So just give me a second. All right. Let's give you a quick tour of the kitchen. So, over here is my sink. A couple of things that need to be cleaned up over there. It's my dishwasher. That stuff's ready for the dishwasher that's on top of it. The stuff in there's just been cleaned. That's the dehydrator, one of the air fryers, and the two bread makers. Down here is my other air fryer, my big air fryer, my blender, and up here is my microwave. And that's the computer that's streaming. And then if you look over this way, this is what I was talking about, the big stove, and that's the pantry, and the oven is over there. So I'm not going to show you any further over that direction because that leads out into the hallway, which is my main entranceway and is not the cleanest entranceway at the moment. So anyway, I think that is where the camera was. Seems to be. Maybe it could be a bit lower. I could possibly bring you over closer to the pan as well with the camera. Let's see how close we can get. All right, let's lift this up. Now, so this is I can probably go a little bit closer. This is what we're cooking at the moment. This is our, yes, I have a little dishwasher because this kitchen didn't have a dishwasher in it. So this is what we're cooking at the moment, our lovely chicken and sweet potato curry. I probably need to put the temperature up a little bit just to get it to a boil, and then we'll put it down to simmer. So anyway, that's where oh, actually I probably should have showed you this as well. This is my fridge and freezer. So I had to build that step to put them on, and I've got a TV in here as well. So, air horn, unfortunately, man, I can't hear the air horns today. I'll refund that for you. I'm sure everyone else got to enjoy it, but I'll refund yourself it because I can't hear sounds at the moment. So, just with the way that everything is set up. It's kind of a scuffed setup today just to get it working. And yeah, but we got it working. So hopefully everyone is enjoying. I'm cooking a chicken and sweet potato curry, and I've got rice cooking in the rice cooker as well. So yeah, just waiting for it to boil. It's going to take a little while to cook. So, you know, now's a good chance to ask some questions, any questions you want. We'll do question and answers, or whatever you want to do. I can show you some of the pumpkins from my garden if you want, but I'll have to go to another room to go grab them. I've got 6, I think, sitting on the dining table at the moment, just doing their final ripening. I've already had one of them, and I think there's about another 6 or 7 in the garden. Dylan, it's dark outside. Look at this. Here, see this window? See that? It's dark outside. It's going to be very hard to show you my garden. So I would love to show you my garden, and one of these days I'll work out how to do that. But unless you want to go out and basically look at darkness, I don't know that I'm going to be able to show you. I don't actually have lights in the garden, so yeah, that's going to be interesting. Anyway, this is starting to boil, so I'm going to just lower it down so it's on a simmer, and I think this will work. Little trick that I've learnt. So I've now put the wooden spoon across the top of it, which will stop it from being able to boil over. Dylan will stir up the darkness and make it light. Fair enough, fair enough. And man, Lions won. You know, Scoot was in my channel before, and every time that he's been in my channel, the Lions have won. So we basically have to... Scoot has to be in every time I stream the Lions playing, because we win every time. So he's got to be there on the grand final day. I've got to find a way to stream on the grand final day, because my plan is if we're in the grand final, I'm going to the grand final. And I might just have to work out how to live stream, do a IRL stream. So yeah, anyway. Hi Neko Cupid, how you doing? So yeah, does anyone have a topic they would like to talk about? I'll give you guys a chance to talk about anything. You can ask questions, whatever you want. No, I'm not showing you the entranceway, because that is messy thanks to Tilly. Which, by the way, Tilly has not been in the kitchen this whole time I've been cooking, which surprises the hell out of me, because food, treats, you name it. But she's not here. She's not here. She actually doesn't stay in the kitchen when I cook, which is really interesting. She actually prefers to be in the living room when I'm cooking. But I'm sure if I pulled the cheese out, hoping to maybe catch one of their games in the next couple of months, but not sure when yet. Sounds good, sounds good. Today was an interesting game. Did you see it? Did you see the history that they made? Or at least hear about the history that they made? It was the worst first quarter in the Lions' history in the last 25 years. Well, when I say worst, that's an interesting comment. They let the opposition score more points. No one desires anything nice or full of spice. The people want a tasteful experience. Fair enough, fair enough. No, well, yeah, so yeah, 37-7 was the start. It ended up being the first quarter was 37-49. So the Lions came back. By the time it was quarter time, Lions were 37, GWS was 49. So yeah, almost 50. And apparently the worst score that the Lions have let an opposite team get in the first quarter ever in the history of the Lions was 25 years ago. So it would have been in one of the early years of the Lions against North Melbourne at the Gabba. And North Melbourne got 50. So GWS almost took the record of being the worst starting score. 1 point short. 1 point short. They still fail at everything. So, but yeah, it was not a good start to the game. But obviously, Lions were only 12 points behind at the first quarter. They were 3 points in front at halftime. Is that a bottle conditioned ale? This is a Pacific ale. It's called Wild Yak. And it's in a Yak Ale stubby holder. So yeah, very nice. All right, so that's cooking away nicely. The rice is still cooking away nicely. We can probably clean this up and clean this other thing up. But keep asking questions about things. And as soon as I'm done cleaning these things up, I'll come back and answer any questions that anyone has. All right. Probably clean the knife as well, actually. There we go. So my knives, for anyone who is interested. Ow, that's hot. There's steam coming out of the top of the rice cooker. So, yeah. All right, so my knives. There's a lovely knife block here. I have Global knives. I like to have them well looked after. So they are all hand washed. They're all sharpened regularly. And there are 5 knives and some shears as well. So I've got a lovely small one. I have one which is quite good for filleting. I have one which is really good for general cutting. And then because we were doing sweet potato today, I used the nice big one. And then the other one I have is this lovely one, a bread cutter, bread knife to cut bread. And then of course the kitchen shears. Nice and sharp, always ready to work. Great set of knives. What is the carbon content of your cutlery? The carbon content of my cutlery? Wow, I have no idea. Can you clarify a bit more on what you mean by that? Also, we have a visitor. Say hi, Tills. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, Tilly. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Look. Is it stainless surgical steel? Stainless surgical steel. I don't know the answer to that. 2024 steel. I mean, they say that Global knives are made from the finest stainless steel material. The blades utilize Chromovar 18 stainless steel, ice tempered and hardened sorry. Ice tempered and hardened to Rockwell C56 to 58, which holds a razor sharp edge longer than any other steel and resists rust, stains and corrosion. I mean, I went for them because, like, Global's a Japanese brand, and Japan are known for some of the best knives in the world. Good beans. Well, the main reason I went for them was I was sick of knives. You know how you get knives and you have the blade and then you have a wooden handle, and the first thing to go is the wood on the handle, and then you have to buy a new knife. Well, these knives have no wooden handle, but they're soft and they're light and they're easy to use and they're well balanced, and so I just love these knives. And yeah, my parents have Global knives as well because I had them. My sister and brother-in-law don't, but they went and bought a cheaper, similar looking set. Because these aren't cheap. Like this knife alone, I think is about $160. Just this knife. This set is about $1,000 or more worth of knives. Global, yes, Global. And I actually also have, and it doesn't go in the knife holder that I've got over there. Let me see if I can find it. This item from Global, which is a little bit dirty at the moment. And that is it picks out the bones in fish. So really, really good tweezers for taking out bones in fish. Could get a graphics card with that, absolutely. Well, you can now. You couldn't a couple, like maybe 6 months ago. Well, you could get a graphics card, but it would have been one from like 10 years ago for that price. All right, let's have a quick. All right, the sweet potatoes are getting there. They've got a little bit of crunch still on them. Rice is still cooking. Whew, there's definitely some spice in that. In fact, I'm just gonna do a quick. Quick taste test. It's got a good spice to it. Are they even still around? Wait, buy one from Cash. Wait, what? Is what even still around? A graphics card? Wait, are you talking about a graphics card, Dylan? Or cash converters? Oh yeah, no, there's still cash converters. There's cash converters all over the place down here. A lot of them have changed into just money. Like you just get money from them. But there are still cash converters that are still the place where you can go and buy stuff. But I can tell you what, I would never go and buy anything from a cash converters. Oh, actually that's not true. I would hardly buy anything from cash converters. Most stuff in cash converters is overpriced. Like, give me a sec. I did buy this from cash converters. Now, it doesn't look like much when it's like that, or when it's got that thing. And I can't find the other part right now. There is another part. It's probably hiding somewhere. Yeah, I'll have to find that other part. But this, does anyone actually know what this is? I can't find its crank at the moment. That's what I can't find. But it has a thing which holds it in place. My stovetop is induction. No, it's not a toast holder. This is a pasta maker. So you have a crank for it. In fact, if I was to do it, I'd probably put it on this side. And you fasten it to your bench so that it can't move. And then you crank and you wind. So you do your pastry for the pasta, and you put it through here, and it will come out and it'll make your pasta for you. And this thing is has some different sizes that you can do your pasta with. Snow cone machine. All right, how are we doing? So the rice, all right. Let me get out my nifty rice thing. So my rice says that it's cooked. So I'm just going to go in and fluff it up. I think I put a little bit too much water in it, but it's still got a little bit of time that it'll dry, so that'll probably be fine. We'll just fluff that up, and we'll let that sit and warm for a bit. Let's just test. We'll grab a decent sized sweet potato from here. I'll just grab it on this thing. So. How many times did I rinse my rice? I didn't. All right, so that's pretty cooked. So we're just going to add the beans in now. I know people say to clean your rice before you cook, but I found that it doesn't seem to make much of a difference. So I tend to not. All right, let's get this all in here. Oops, spilling curry juice. There we go. There we go. Let's put it up a bit. So probably a bit more liquid than I potentially would have liked it to have had, but we should be fine. Hey Dead Horse, how you doing? I'm cooking, or I've just finished cooking, about to serve it up, a chicken and sweet potato curry. So let's, oh, right. That did a pathetic job. Did I even turn it on? Okay. All right. We'll grab a bowl out. We'll get some rice. Yeah, so a little bit of rice. grab a ladle. All right, and we have a lovely chicken curry, chicken and sweet potato curry. What are we saying now? I used to never rinse my rice, but I remember my 5th grade teacher's story about the Great Depression of people stealing food from trains and how the train's grains were covered in mercury. Oh wow, okay. Why were the grains covered in mercury? Guess that would stop them. Okay, interesting. That is interesting. I'm pretty sure the rice I get does not have mercury on it. I tend to buy organic rice or local, or well, you can't really get local, but interesting comment. But I mean, I know that the rice normally has like a starchy cover on it, but like, no matter how much you rinse it, it always seems to come out white for me anyway. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. So I'll remember that story. Anyway, let's have a quick taste test of this. See how it is. I'm just going to grab a little spoon and taste the sauce. Starch is used for soup. Interesting. Let's have a quick taste of the chicken. That's really nice. That is really nice. All right. Well, that's cooking with me. So I think I'm going to. Oh well, we're at 16 people, aren't we? Interesting. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about? Cooking is fun. Yeah, cooking is fun. I'm tempted to cook something else now because of that. So we might chuck that to the side and see if we can do something else. Now, I don't really have anything prepared though, so this is going to be interesting because I don't really have many ingredients that I could do stuff with. Let's quickly clean this up. What spices do you grow? At the moment, I don't have a lot of spices in my garden, but I do want to grow. I have rosemary and I have parsley. I do want to grow an abundance of other things as well, and that is one thing which I'm working on very hard at the moment. So my garden is currently sitting at about a third capacity of what I want it to be running at. I have finished off the section to make it at 50%, but I haven't sorted out all the soils and everything and done planting in it or anything like that. I'm waiting currently for the pumpkin plants to die off because I'm going to rejuvenate the entire amount of garden that I've currently got in place, because initially I used soil that was very healthy soil from other parts of my garden, which I'm rejuvenating anyway. Unfortunately, they have lots of weed seeds in them. And so I get a lot of weeds as well as the great crops that I'm getting. So my intention is to refurbish all my gardens with organic compost. So I'm taking out the top half of every garden bed because I've got raised garden beds. And I am going to replace that with organic compost over the whole lot. I'm also working on the first area which I put in. My initial plans kind of didn't really work the way I wanted them to. So I'm actually putting another raised level in there to separate the strawberries from the other berries. And I'll go from there. So yeah, if I could only figure out how to keep sunlight inside my house, temperate zone to grow spices and citrus. Yeah, fair enough. I have a lemon tree, which unfortunately is right in the way of where my fence is going to go. So yeah, outside is very hard to defend. I've spent a lot of time defending it from animals. Defending it from nature is another thing. I have a great location though in my garden, so I think I'm going to be okay, and I'm going to put a greenhouse in as well. Anyway, as I said, let's do something. What should we make? I'm thinking I'm going to turn the oven on. Give me a second. I think I'm bringing a tray. Or a pan, I should say. Now I'm going to cheat a bit. I could make my own. But we're going to use this instead. Hang on, I've got to get this back on so I can get it back in the freezer. Having difficulty getting this. All right. There we go. All right. And we'll grab one of these as well. Oh, maybe that one. Hi Ozo, nice to see your cooking stream. Awesome, glad you like it. Insects. Oh, if I could keep bees to work with the plants inside, it's all work, work, work and failure and then still more work. What do you recommend from non-stick cookware? I tend to avoid non-stick as much as possible. It is quite hard to avoid it when you're dealing with, unfortunately, baking, because you kind of want it to be non-stick. The biggest suggestion I would make is do not use metal in a non-stick. Never use metal. The instant that you damage the non-stick, no good. All right. I think we're going to do this. So, question. In fact, I'm going to put a poll up. We have two options. Can one of my mods please put a poll up? The poll is for apple pie or apricot pie. I think it's apricot. No, not apricot. Yes. Apricot. Only the Rome and the Romans used pots. Fair enough. They have acidity to mix well together. Are you saying to do an apricot and apple pie? Okay, can we get a poll up? Apple pie, apricot pie, or apricot and apple pie? Where is it? There it is. That's a prediction, not a poll. Poll is /poll. Do you want to cancel the prediction? All right, so we want a poll, /poll for a mod, and then you can do it that way. So, all right. I might turn the fan off here because this is a all right. That rattling noise at the freezer was annoying me. All right, let's have a look. How are we going? That's all good, man. That's all good. Thanks for putting the poll up, man. All right, so what do we want? Did you manage to do that one in the end, man? So now you know how to do it? I don't know how to do predictions. I know how to do polls, but I don't know how to do predictions. Nice. All right, so everyone vote in the poll. The one that wins in the poll is the one we'll cook. Now, I'm going to get myself ready for it. All right, let's get it all out. Sieve. So these are apples. I believe these are apples from my tree. These are apples from a neighbour's tree. And these are apricots that were $1 a kilo. It was end of season, and the local farm was doing, wait, what one? Which one won? Apple and apricot pie. Okay, we're doing apple and apricot pie. And we had am I seeing correctly that we had 4, 5, 6, 7 people vote? Nice. Okay, so to do an apple and apricot pie, I'm going to put these away. Because I think that will be enough ingredients to do an apple and apricot pie. So, let's get this ready. All right, I need another container. And let's get it ready. So these were all preserved by me in my Fowler's Valcola. So what you do is you prepare it all. You put it in with a sugary mixture. Sugar and water mixture, so sugar water. And then you store it away. Well, you heat it. You put it in the Fowler's Valcola for a period of time, which heats it all up, which then pressurizes it down so that this is completely sealed. And then you can preserve it for a decent period of time. and then use it later on. So we're just going to get this all out, hopefully. There we go. There we go. So we're just going to get the, separate the apricots from the liquid, because we don't want the pie to be too liquidy. Do I have a YouTube channel? I do. ! YouTube. I haven't got anything like this on YouTube yet because this is the first cooking stream I've done, but I do have my World of Warships best games on there, but this will probably go up there as a cooking stream. Fermented. Not fermented. What you do is you're preserving them. So you're using natural preservatives and then sealing it in an airtight container so that no air can get to it and nothing can happen to it. So you'll see I have to pry them. I have to pry them so that I can get the air to break the seal before I can actually get into the containers. And then, yeah, there's the apples. So you can see, once I've done this, I'll show you the sugary liquid that's left at the end, which you could use for something else, because it is actually quite tasty. But yeah, so basically you're using heat to seal the bottle. It's like jarring, what do you say? What's the word they use? Canning. It's like canning. Basically, you're storing it something which was fresh in a jar. And it can survive for a longer period of time that way because it hasn't. You've stopped it from anything happening. But anyway, we've got all that in there now. So this is, I don't know if you can see very well, but this is the liquid that is left from it, and it's actually quite a lot of liquid. So I might try and do something with it later. Make an apple apricot cheese muffin. Save some to make muffins with later. I've still got more. I've still got plenty more. Where that came from. So I'm just going to have a look. I mean, we've got this much for the mix. I think this is going to be exactly what we need for the pie. So I can do apple and apricot muffins later as well. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my father just messaged me. And man, you might like this. I need to recharge this thing, unfortunately. Fremantle just beat Melbourne. Yes, absolutely. I've got lunch for the next week now. I'm going to have to open up my phone. Hang on, give me a second. I need to... Where is that thing? I don't know where that thing is, actually. I have a stand for my phone somewhere and I don't know where I put it. So I'm just going to have to do this. So I can see chat. All right. No. I'm live. Why is this not letting me go to the live stream? Why is this not? No. View dashboard. Yeah, sorry, I'm just having to switch because my iPad's about to go flat, so I want to be able to see the chat. There we go. All right. Fermenting is tricky mischief for skills. Yeah, absolutely. Hang on. Oh, that's working. Good, good, good. Oh, absolutely, celebration time. And at the moment, Gold Coast is beating... Who was Gold Coast beating? Hawthorn. serves them right, beating us in Launceston. Anyway, I'm going to add some cinnamon to the apple and apricots. Just a bit of cinnamon. Give it a little bit of a spicy, a little bit of a kick. And then we're going to mix that up so that the cinnamon gets mixed and all the apricots and apples are mixed as well. All right. All right, so now we've done that, just gonna quickly clean this up. I'm gonna move this out of the way because we don't need the juices. I'll deal with the juices later. I'm gonna deal with the pan. How'd the Hawks beat Lions and lose to Gold Coast? Exactly. Just some ground cinnamon. All right, so we need to grease the pan, which is why I've got the butter here. So we'll just grab a bit of butter, and we'll just grease the pan. I'll probably have to use that. Just so that it, even though it's non-stick, just to make sure that it doesn't stick. You know. All right, so put the butter away because don't want to leave that out. Let's just put. I can't hear you. Hang on, has my sound died? Hang on. Please tell me this thing. No, this thing's still going. Can you not hear me? Ground cinnamon. Is there another noise causing interference or sound is good? Okay. All right, so we're just going to put this in the tray. And I'll just grab a sharp knife. We'll just cut these little bits off and we'll use these to fill up the gaps that this thing didn't fill in this pan. So like here, we'll just put that in there. We'll cut this up a bit more. Just fill in the gaps. All right, over there. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going for a rustic one. So nice homemade pie. Not trying to be one of those machine-made ones. And then that's perfect for that. And we'll just put this in here. Very simple pie. There's enough sugar and stuff in here. I know a lot of people would want to add sugar, but with this having sitting in a sugar water mix, it doesn't need any extra sugar. And we're making a pie. Yes, we're making a pie. We've made a lovely potato and chicken and potato curry, and now we're making a pie. So to top that off, we literally just, well, oops, that wasn't right. We'll literally just put this on the top. As I said, we're going for rustic anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We're just going to fold these over, have this folded in nicely into these, push it in, fold that in there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Thank you for giving a gifted sub to Righu Roll. Man, very much appreciated. And man's getting hungry already. Okay, so that's our pie done, pretty much. Nice and easy. Just used some ingredients which I prepared earlier. Now, if you've been watching me prepare the ingredients earlier, that's a different story. That was a day of work to prepare. I think I did 3 batches of apricots, and I've done something like 4 batches of apples. I've also got cherries, but apparently the cherries are not as tasty, my father says. So I didn't really want to go down that path. I'll deal with the cherries later. Maybe do something with a brandy in them. Anyway, I'm just going to shove the pie in the oven. Now we're sitting on 100 and well, we're just gonna cook it on 160 degrees. So it'll be in there for maybe 15-20 minutes. Could make a black forest cake with the cherries. Yeah, could do that. Months of work used for an amazing treat. Exactly. I mean, for Mother's Day, I made my mother 2 pies. I made her a apricot pie, and I made her a apple and cherry pie. And that was my Mother's Day present for my mother. And I mean, it didn't take a lot of work there, but the work that went into it and the thought that goes into it. The next thing I do want to do, and that's when I get my proper kitchen, because this space is not really what I want it to be. I'm going to have, when I do finish my renovation, a really, really, really nice kitchen. And the aim there is then I'll be able to make my own pastries, I'll be able to make my own pastas, everything that I want to make, basically. Usually cherry pies have too much processed sugar. Apple seeds are used to make acid. Yeah, fair enough. All right, anyway, I'm just going to quickly clean this stuff up. I'll be just 2 secs. While I'm cleaning these up, if anyone has any ideas of something simple that they would also like to be made while we're waiting, I'm more than happy to try and make it. Be aware I don't have a lot of ingredients at the moment because, yeah, I only prepared for 1 meal and we've ended up cooking 2. So we're going to have to go with whatever I've got. I've got things like flour, of course, and stuff like that. You know, your standard pantry type ingredients. Yeah, everything else will have to be thought out a little bit more. All right. These jars are going to take a little bit longer to clean, so I might actually leave them and clean them later. Because they need to be cleaned really well, so I can use them again. But that thing is done. That is cleaned, and we'll leave the rest for later on. All right, what have we got happening? Is it sticky rice now? What about the rice? Hang on, what about the rice? Let's have a look at the rice. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's fluffing up nicely when I do it. So I'm actually going to turn that off though, because the heat was still on. It was keeping it warm, and I probably want it to cool down so I can then move it into containers so I can store it and put it in the fridge, put it in the freezer, and it'll be my lunches for the rest of the week. Which is what I often do is, have you ever made a rice pudding? I'm not a big fan of rice puddings, so I don't tend to make it. I like a good risotto though. Some good arborio rice for a risotto. So I should have been clear with that actually. This is jasmine rice that I used today, but I also like basmati as well. All right. It's a good curry. It's a shame that you guys can't eat this curry as well. Anyway, I never had a fresh tapioca. Oh, wow, okay. I don't think I have either. All right, let me have a think. While that pie is cooking, what could we do? Don't really want to do bread because I've got a bread. Could do muffins if I have the ingredients. I'll have to look up how I'm going to make muffins though. Fresh ginger and curry might make nice muffins. Yeah, they might. The breakfast muffins of muffins. All right. Let's have a look at the pie. Oh, I can't actually see it. It's on the top rung. I shouldn't have put it on the top, but the thing wasn't ready for it. You know what? We're going to be noisy. This is actually going to get a bit noisy, unfortunately. I do apologise for that. But apple and cinnamon muffins are always nice. They are. They are. Maybe I should do that. I don't have any muffin trays, I don't think. Hang on, let me check. I'm doing a Lydia right now. I don't have muffin trays. Do I have muffin? No. So I can't do muffins. Oh dear. Alright, I can't do muffins, unfortunately. I'll need to get some muffin trays if I want to do muffins. I'm not going to do a Lydia and try and do something, use something else. But what I am going to do is do a datum. So anyone who knows datum should be able to guess what's about to happen. Is that you've burnt, don't think you've burnt anything yet, so that's a start. Fair enough, fair enough. All right, this is going to get a bit noisy for a few seconds. Just bear with this. Oh, is that thing not plugged in? No, I plugged the, all right, let's plug that in. Done. All right. Let's chuck a lid on that. 1 chocolate milk. There we go. I still haven't finished my dinner. More Than Muffins was once a restaurant I once loved to go to. It was a Brazilian place in the middle of the nations of America. It was better than McDonald's, then changed its name and menu. Damn, that sucks. I had an amazing takeaway place just down from here. It made the best burger in Hobart for by none. Now I only just recently found out they sold the shop to the pizza van across the place, so that the pizza van no longer had to do its pizzas from a van. All right, that was a great meal. Just leave that. All right, let's have a quick check of the pie. Yep, pie's got a bit longer to go. So I'm happy to take questions again. Those muffins were really, really good. I actually had a muffin the other day. We went to, and if you check my, if you follow my Instagram, then you'll be able to see, do I have a link to my Instagram anywhere? I don't know if I do. I'll have to have a check. But maybe somebody can tell me if I've got a link to my Instagram. But anyway, my Instagram, I posted some pics from Wednesday. me and my work colleagues, we went down to an island called Bruny Island, which is very near where we are. And we went on a bit of a trip on these boats. And the place where we went to meet this, they actually have their own restaurant there. And before we went there, they had freshly baked muffins. So I grabbed one of the muffins. It was a blueberry muffin. It was delicious. The trip was amazing as well. We got to see fur seals and all sorts of things. Nice, thanks man. So yeah, so if you want to check that out, you can check out my Instagram. And yeah, I put pics of us traveling. It was such a beautiful day for it as well. The water was calm. We were actually out in the, what is technically called the Southern Ocean, but my work doesn't acknowledge it as the Southern Ocean anymore because one of our members doesn't acknowledge it as the Southern Ocean, so we call it the waters around Antarctica. But we technically went out into that ocean. Fayuada, Bondi. Nice. That's a good chocolate milk. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying chocolate milk. I can tell you that. It's literally you buy milk, you buy chocolate syrup. You blend it together, you get chocolate milk. Brazilian national dish, nice. I'll have to ask one of my work colleagues about it because he's Brazilian. So, all right. Let's quickly clean that up. All right, so Argentine beef is supposed to be good. I never had it. Oh, okay. Actually, that wouldn't surprise me. All right, well, we're waiting for the pie to cook. So I'm open to suggestions on what people want to talk about. Do we have any topics that anyone wants to talk about? I don't even know what the time is. Almost 9 o'clock, is it? Yeah, almost 9 o'clock. That explains why I got an alert about Lydia going live. So, anyway. Now, after we finish cooking this pie, unless I can think of something else to cook, yeah, generally it is, but I'm in the kitchen. When did you choose to cook well? When did I choose to cook well? So I spent 6.5 years in Sweden, and when I moved to Sweden, so before I moved to Sweden, my parents always used to make us cook one meal a week, which I always did the same meal, the same one meal. I used to do a spaghetti bolognese, but I used to try and spice it up because my sister was always sick and tired of the same meal coming from me all the time. So I used to try and spice it up by adding different herbs and spices to it. And she hated that because I was experimenting with herbs and spices rather than actually doing something different. But when I moved overseas and I had to start fending for myself, I just started to continue experimenting. I kind of knew what things worked together and just had to really start to learn to cook for myself. So those 6.5 years, I learned to cook so many things and took a real interest in cooking. And while I was doing that, I also started to learn about things like non-stick pans and all those sorts of things, and started to really start to notice differences in foods as well. And more recently, I've also removed a lot of salt from my diet. So you'll probably notice I didn't add any salt when I was cooking, because I find that if you use the right herbs and spices and the right ingredients, you don't need to add salt to add flavor. And the more salt you have, the less flavor you taste, the more salt you need to be able to taste the flavor. So I stick clear from salt as much as possible. And only use it when it really is necessary, like when you're trying to cook pasta and you need to add salt to water. Apart from that, I tend to stick clear of salt. I do have salt, so in fact, I do have a lot of salt. That's rock salt, so I grind my own salt when I do it. I tend to not use the stuff you get pre-ground because they add crap to that. So yeah, same reason you said about the rice, the mercury on rice, they add so much crap to stuff. So in reality, the fresher ingredients I can have, which is one of the reasons why I have my own garden, the better it is. How often are you going to do cooking streams? That's a good question. I need to sort out this internet thing so I can actually have this working properly, so I can go from the kitchen to the study and back and all those sorts of things. But yeah, let's try and do some more regular cooking streams. Maybe I'll keep it to weekends. It'll depend very much on the Lions games as well and what else is going on. But we'll probably try and have a bit more of a regular cooking stream happening. So as I said, depends. So it may end up having to be early. It may end up having to be later. Never forget the spice trade made a world of profit. Absolutely, they made a world of profit. But yeah, anyway, we'll look at cooking more things, and apparently people like cooking. So I think I'm going to have to be a bit more prepared and have multiple things to cook as well, because otherwise I'm standing here talking to you guys and I don't know how interesting that really is to just hear me talking about crap. So yeah, let's give me a sec. I'm just going to check on the pie. We're not there yet. Still has some time to cook, but it's starting to look good. Let me throw this in the bin. All right. And maybe we'll need to put a channel on the Discord for requests of what people might like to see me cook as well. I'm happy to look at different things. Obviously, the more engaging it is, the more steps in the process and the less time that it's cooking on the stove or cooking in a slow cooker or something like that, the better, because if it's cooking in a slow cooker, it's just going to be sitting there cooking for most of the time, isn't it? That's not going to be as entertaining. So we're going to have to think about the things that we cook. And that was why I did this recipe. Julia Child wasn't a spy alone. Okay. But definitely I'm going to have to look at what things we cook, because I deliberately, my initial plan when I was preparing for this meal was I was going to do my normal standard chicken and sweet potato curry, which is a really simple dish, which I had worked on when I was in Sweden. It had 6 ingredients. So you have your rice, you have your chicken, you have your sweet potato, you have curry paste, you have coconut milk, which I often used to change to cashews. So you'd grind up cashews and make a cashew paste. And you had a chicken stock. That was it. Very simple, very straightforward. This one we decided to do a little bit more complicated, so added obviously onion, garlic, doing natural spices instead of using a curry paste, and some beans and capsicum or red peppers, bell peppers as well. Do I enjoy ABBA's music? I like ABBA's music. ABBA's music is good. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a good source of music. But yeah, anyway, that's what was done today. Spiced it up a little bit for you. Used natural ingredients, which, yeah, basically the original recipe that I used to do was okay, I want to come home, I want to cook something quickly, eat it, and I'll have some leftovers for the rest of the week or for some days or whatever. Because very quick, cut up some chicken, cut up some sweet potato, cook it with some stock and coconut milk and cook some rice. 20 minutes, you're done. So yeah, whereas we took a little bit longer, and we took a little bit longer to get ready before we started as well. But I think it's turned out really well. Anyway, guys, I'm going to be back in 2 secs. So hold on for a second. All right, I'm back. Inspecting the countertops of a cook is interesting. I love disco, but I love Led Zeppelin and many other genres of music. Yeah, no, I love a lot of different genres of music myself, actually. I wouldn't pigeonhole myself in one category. I find that it really depends on my mood as to which music I like to listen to. And I do apologize that I wasn't able to put like music on this stream. It's a very scuffed setup at the moment. I literally had to switch to using straight off this computer rather than my original plan is to stream to actually share from this computer, which is what I do when I stream the AFL. I have this computer set up, it gets the image, I send it to my other computer, which then sends out the stream through my normal streaming tool. And then from that, it gives all my backgrounds and all my sound alerts and everything working, whereas this is obviously not working, so I need to sort all that out. We ain't here for music, but every word coming out of your mouth. Oh, thank you. So basically, I'm going to look at fixing it all anyway so that we can have it all set up and so that I can switch between different setups easily. But it's just going to take a little bit of time to get that setup sorted. So I may have to use this scuffed setup a few more times. But I think we'll look at planning this a bit better so that I have 3 or 4 things that I'm going to do. And then we're not waiting while I'm talking for things to happen. Tell us about your cutting board. You want to know about my cutting board? Interesting. This is actually a really interesting thing. This is handmade. I made this myself. This cutting board is a piece of blackwood, which is a Tasmanian tree. I live in Tasmania. So I got some offcuts of blackwood. And with the offcut of blackwood, I sanded it back. I've treated it with food grade oil. And made my own chopping board because this is a really good sized chopping board. I don't have a video, unfortunately, but I do want to make another one of it because at some stage, because I'd like one. So I'm going to have to go and find a really nice offcut. Well, I think I want to find a better offcut than this because this was just a scrap offcut. Whereas if I can go and find a really nice offcut, I think I can make a really, really nice one. And I want to make one that's like maybe a little bit bigger, at least wider, because this is just like, this is a good size, but it's just not quite as big as I would like. You're not worthy, we're not worthy. I mean, if I do that, then I'll make a video of that. But I mean, I made this 3 years ago. So this chopping board has been, since I moved in this house, I made this chopping board not long after I moved into this house. This is back before I streamed. This is back before I even considered about making any videos or anything. So this chopping board has lasted me quite a long time, and it's got, you can see the scuffs and stuff in it that come from me chopping on it for all those years. Yeah, many moons ago. Holy chopping block chopping. Holy chopping black block chopping. But I mean, this is all the furniture, and this is actually interesting. The reason I have black wood offcuts is because all the furniture that I have in my house, all my beds, the dining table, sideboards, everything I have that is furniture which I want to be in my house in the future is all made of black wood. Because this house that I'm in was built in the early 1950s. It has, apart from this room which doesn't have tall ceilings, the rest of the house has quite tall ceilings. Not the maximum height that you would find some houses have, but it has taller ceilings than modern houses have. It has original wooden, underneath the carpet that they put down more recently, it has original floorboards, which are made of Tassie oak. And the one of the rooms actually has an original fireplace in it as well, which has been sealed up because they decided to extend the house that way and put in the room which I use as my living room and dining room, which is the room which I stream the AFL in. And they decided to put the fireplace into that room instead. So they cut a hole in the other side of the fireplace to put the fireplace out that way. So my intention is, and this is what I'm working with a designer at the moment, is to have the part of the house which is behind me and all up that way, and have all of that restored to more of an original feeling. So it's not going to be original because I want to still have the rooms the way I want them to function, but bring up the floorboards, make it so that it's that sort of era of colors and stuff with all the wooden furnishings and stuff like that. And then this part I'm going to extend the house that way and put a double-story extension on. And this kitchen will not exist once that extension happens as a kitchen, but the living room will start around about here and go that way, and then this side will be part of that thing, because behind this wall, over this corner of this wall is my ensuite, and over here is my master bedroom, but will become the corridor to the main bathroom, which will be over here. So yeah, there's a lot of changes which I'm going to do, and the kitchen's going to be really awesome. And I'm going to wire the whole place up with networking and all those sorts of things so that I have wireless around the place, because a lot of these walls in this place, like behind here, are original lath and plaster. So they're actually not very good for Wi-Fi signal to break through. And I think that's the reason why I was having troubles with the stream earlier on. So I'm going to have to play around. Well, I'm not going to do all of that work myself. I am going to have to pay someone to do a lot of it because it's beyond me to do it. I mean, I can build things and stuff like that, and I would like to be involved in some of the work, so that, and I think my father wants to as well, just so we can get our hands dirty, and so it can feel like, you know, it's not just a place that was built, it was something that we were involved in. And yeah, so it's going to have really cool things, and it's going to be really set up well. And because I've been enjoying this streaming, I'm going to set it up so that it can support streaming really well. So I'll be able to put cameras in strategic locations, and I'll be able to use the technology to connect to the cameras. So like the kitchen might have multiple cameras at different ways, and I'll be able to switch between them. I'm going to have a streaming room upstairs in my upstairs study space. There'll be cameras that, you know, I'll just have the place set up so that I can do whatever I want, wherever I want in the place really easily. And I am also planning on expanding downstairs and putting a root cellar in so that I can store all my root vegetables and all of the excess canned goods and things like that. Like, actually, this is a really good thing to show as well. So this is a homemade blackberry jam. So I have a blackberry bush out the back, and I harvested all the blackberries, and I made 6 jars of these this year from all the blackberries. It's the only one I have left in my pantry, but I have one in the fridge still. And the rest I gave to my parents and my sister. So I do stuff like that as well. And yeah, the plan is to be able to have that all stored. You love homemade jams, you want to sell one? Well, I've only got that one left in the pantry, but if you were here, then maybe I would have. And once I start producing more. So the plan is to have apricot jams, blackberry jams, raspberry jams, all sorts of things like that, because I'm going to have all those plants in place. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly check the pie. Still not looking quite ready. So got a little bit more time to wait. So what I might do in the meantime, why do blackberries grow in so many regions? That's a really good question. I don't have an answer for, unfortunately. All right, what I'm going to do, just give me a sec. Let's dish this out. The rice, long time coming. Yeah. Well, the rice has been ready for a while. So I did have it in my I did have it in the original meal that I was eating. But now we're going to dish this all out. So hang on, I'll show you. The rice still warm. So we're gonna dish this out and see how many serves we're gonna get from it. So I'm anticipating about 6, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. All right, looking good. Oops. All right. Should be enough rice in each at the moment. That's what's great about rice. Even if it gets all tangled up, it's still ready. Yep. All right. Let's put 2 scoops in each and see how we're going. All right, it's looking good. Hopefully after we've done all this and we've served this all out, we'll be able to pull out the pie. It's looking really nice. Now this pan that I have here is a, what's it called? Cast iron. So not non-stick. But I much prefer to have a cast iron. You can use metal things in it, no problem. It's just so much better, I think, than non-stick. So I think we're going to find that we may only be getting 6. I can definitely put more rice in each of them, and I'll probably put more of this in, and then once we've done that, we'll find we've got 6. So we're going to put the rice, the last of the rice, in these. So the answer was, how many serves did we make? 7. Because we had 1 already, and we've got 6 more for lunches. I bet the broth is delicious. I bet the broth is too. So I'm going to have to preserve the broth if I still have broth left after all this, and probably do something with it, or try and put more broth in these things maybe. All right, we're getting very low on. We've got plenty of broth. Why does tomatoes break down? Why does tomatoes break down? I have no idea. Actually, that's an interesting thing as well. So I talk about my garden So I had a bumper crop of tomatoes this year. So I made 10 jars of this, 10 of these. Very nice size. This is my homemade tomato sauce. And it was made with tomatoes directly from my garden. So I've got 3 left of it. I've been using it a heap. Absolutely beautiful. I've got some more tomatoes still. I didn't use up all the tomatoes, but not many tomatoes left. And that was from the crop this year. All right, let's try and... Tilly, you're in the way. There we go. Empty. Now, I'm just going to put these over here to cool down a little bit before we put them in the fridge, because they've still got steam coming off them. All right. Just leave that one there. I'll take the cast iron over to the sink. I've got some cleaning up to do afterwards. So, all right. Rice cooker can go there. Put that bad boy there. And let's have a quick look at this pie. No, I think the pie still needs a couple more minutes. So we're almost there. We're almost at showing the pie. What do I use for dish soap? So I have Morning Fresh. Now you probably can't see it very well. Lemon dishwashing liquid. That's what I use in the sink. And then when I use the dishwasher, I have Fairy Original. I have a very small dishwasher though, so yeah. That'll be something which I'm really looking forward to with the new place. This will be a full-size dishwasher, which means I can, I still won't do my cast iron dishes, I still won't do my pots and pans, I still won't do my knives in it, but I'll be able to do all the plates and everything. The big plates don't fit in my dishwasher that I currently have. So, all right, let's all right. Just going to move the pie quickly down to a different section of the oven because I'm not sure it's getting the right cooking at that section. And also I can't really see it easily from outside. All right, how are we doing? One of your first jobs was washing dishes, but the sanitizer would run out of the hot water. That's interesting. That's cool. That's actually, now you're giving me ideas. So I'm starting to get a bit of a sore back at the moment from standing all this time. By now I probably would have sat down or gone and done something else, but all right. Not really? Okay. All right. The pie should be done very soon. As I said, once the pie is done, I used to wash better than depend on the sanitizer. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Let's just check this pie again. I don't really want to be checking it constantly. I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking very good. It's just probably a couple more minutes. All right. So. Oh, okay. Thank you, Nugget Boy 69 for the follow, and oven mitts. Yes, I have oven mitts. These over here. My masterclass oven mitts. Love them. Love them to bits. All right. Well, what else can we do? I think we need another beer. What about you? Cheers. What is your opinion on the science of oven mitts? What do you mean by the science of oven mitts? I mean, let's think about what an oven mitt is. It's material, and in this case, I've got a rubber outside on it, which makes it much easier to clean. It means I'm not going to burn my hands. Leather synthetic, yes. So, well, this is a rubber thing that doesn't burn. I mean, all I know is I've had these for probably 11 years, 12 years. There's nothing wrong with them. They're in perfect condition. I've never gotten any more. Yeah, true. I mean, if you use a tea towel, you feel the heat. Should play World of Warships wearing the oven. God, no. No, man, no. Are you going to play World of Warships later on, man? Speaking of, hey Rice, how you doing? What's funny is I never saw a pizza worker use oven mitts. Huh. What do pizza workers use? No, they use that shovel thing. I'm calling that done. All right. One pie. Might do a couple games. Got to go shortly for about 20 minutes or so. Fair enough, fair enough. All right. One pie. One plate. Technically, rubber is a natural material, right? CB start at 9:30 if we were still going to do them tonight. 9:30 tonight? As in 7 minutes? Are we invited to do any rice? Because I'm more than happy to do it. I just need to be given a little bit of warning. Because I'll need to switch from here to my computer. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly grab out a piece of pie. Hopefully, it's gonna be really hard to do because let's grab out a piece of pie. Didn't grab it out very well. That's okay. It's the taste that matters, not what it looks like. All right. If we have 4, we can try and grab Mercs. Otherwise, we can try to Merc. Dylan, are you going to play as well? Is Dylan around? If Dylan's around, then we should have 4. But I think Man will be back in like 20 minutes. So that'll give us time to get set up, get connected, do whatever we need to do, I guess. If that will work. Will that work? All right. Taste test. Do me one favor, work together in World of Warships. Fair enough. We will work together. All right. Well, on that note, this is delicious. I'm going to quickly race to the computer room, switch over my stream to the computer. So I'm going to have to end this stream and start that stream. If I can do this perfectly timed, then it will take me about 30-40 seconds, I reckon. So please hang around and join me for the World of Warships streaming. So I'm just going to race to the computer room. I'll be right back. I'm going to get everything set up. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to try and move this with me. And if I try and move this with me, I'm hoping that I can end this stream. We'll come back to the kitchen and clean it up in a little while. But I'm hoping that what we can do is move ourselves in here temporarily, doing it like this, and hopefully this is working really well. And my intention is that I should be able to press stop streaming here. So give me a second, and we should be able to press start streaming there. So fingers crossed this all works. And we're doing it in 3, 2,